What's going on, everybody? This is Greg Doss, aka DJ Squid, and I'm being brought to you by the Man Mindset and the manmindset.com, and of course gregdoss.com. Now, I've had several guys inbox me and or just on the street or in passing ask me a couple of questions relative to information and naturally about child support. And this is what I'm going to do for you all. I'm going to give you some information, and it's not my information. I'm not very creative. I can read. And for those of you who claim that you can read but don't understand the words, I have some news for you. You're not fucking reading. You're calling words. Reading requires comprehension, and you have to have a level of comprehension in order to move through any process in life. So again, for those of you who say I can read but I don't understand all the words, you're doing yourself a disservice, and you're pretty much letting the rest of us know that you're a fucking idiot. Okay, with that being said, for those of you guys who have some issues within the family law system, and depending on your state, the rules may vary. So what I'm going to do is keep things somewhat germane to really the supreme law of the land, Marbury versus Madison, the United States Constitution, and for those of you in the state of Florida, the Florida Constitution. Now, those of you who may just live in a state of constant confusion, I don't know what the fuck to do for you. But one thing that I'm tired of doing is listening to guys bellow and bark and whine and bitch and moan about what's not going necessarily so well within the family courts. Now, even with this information, you may not get your desired result. However, it should hopefully inspire the masses of you wusses, and some of you guys who really do have some backbone, to at least go in and search. And after you search, research the information. I want everybody to turn your attention to Article 1, Section 10 of the United States Constitution. Now, as you see, I'm not going into any books or going online and searching it or pulling it up and showing it to you online, because I don't want you to believe me. I want you to think this guy thinks he knows something and he's an idiot. So I'm going to prove him wrong and I'm going to call him. Now, again, the Constitution and case law are going to be two different things. But the Constitution should help inspire you to go find some case law. Article 1, Section 10, essentially, among other things, says there can be no bills of attainder, ex post facto law, nor a law impairing the obligation of a contract. Think about that, guys. Now, I want you to turn your attention to Article 3 of the United States Constitution, which essentially tells you that all the power of the United States is vested in one Supreme Court, and in such courts, in such inferior courts as Congress may from time to time ordain. Article 4 tells you that all states must have a Republican form of government, people. What is Republican? Okay, that doesn't mean the cats who are the elephants that may stomp you. Republican means, as it states, meaning going back to, publican meaning people, Republican form of government. Think about what that means. And by the way, for those of you who think you live in a democracy, let me help you out. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Article 6 of that Constitution states quite clearly that the Constitution is the supreme law of the land. Now, for those of you all who may question who certain people claim to be or state that they are, you may find out something about treaties that were in effect prior to the establishment of the Constitution, and the treaties that were in effect during the Confederation. By the way, it'll also let you know that all judges and officers are bound to support that Constitution and take an oath to that Constitution. Now, with that being said, we've gone to Article 1, 3, 4, and 6. Now, of course, there's other things within it, but this is for you guys who may have some child support issues. Now, I'm going to go to the Florida Constitution, and we're going to say that Article 1, Section 1 of the Florida Constitution tells you that all political powers are inherent in the people. And before I move forward with this Florida Constitution thing, let me go back to the preamble of the United States Constitution. And again, people, don't believe me because I'm a blithering idiot. Hell, why don't you go to fucking Schoolhouse Rock? We the people, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice and ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. If you go to where the first comma is after we the people and the very last one, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America, you just say, well, we the people do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America, which would help you understand, or actually overstand, because standing is what allows something to happen, and if you're either over it or you're under it. But overstand the power of the Constitution. See? And by the way, there's a thing called the Declaration of Independence. And, it essentially tells you that men are endowed by their creator with certain inalienable rights, that among them are life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, and really to secure, not grant, these rights, governments are instituted among men, or something thereabouts. But again, don't believe me. Look it up for yourself, you bunch of lazy asses. Now, let's go to the Florida Constitution, and we'll say Article 1, Section 10 of the Florida Constitution. Beyond the due process of Article 1, Section 9 in the Florida Constitution, it tells you the same thing. No bills of attainder, ex post facto law impairing the obligation of contract. Now, for those of you who are interested in knowing about that bill of attainder, go to Cummings versus Missouri. It'll outline what a bill of attainder is. And you'll also see imprisonment for debt coming shortly thereafter. Not me, people. Look it up if you're in the state of Florida. Article 1, Section 23 essentially tells everybody that you have the right to be free and let alone from government intrusion into your private life. And more importantly, in the state of Florida, there's an Article 1, Section 27 that defines marriage. Now, again, none of this is legal advice. If you want legal advice, you can attorney be advised. But you now have a overstanding that the law is written by the people. Now, granted, you send these people there to Congress or to house the government to do your bidding, but if you don't hold them accountable for what they've agreed to do, then whose fault is it? It's yours. Not theirs for fucking you, but you for bending over and grabbing your ankles and being fucked. Now, this is just a brief outline or just an introductory video for those of you who may have some information and have some questions about child support. If you want some more in-depth information, I suggest that you either one, do more searching and researching. Heaven forbid you get off your ass and stop listening to some of this bullshit that you all call music and spend the same 15, 20, or 30 minutes getting information that may be germane to your freedom. Stop taking the time to get on posts and start crying about what's not right, and get together and form pockets or groups of people who may become some sort of grassroots organization that may help get you your desired result. But at any rate, any more questions, go to gregdoss.com. That's GREGDOSS.com. And you can find me every Wednesday night on the Greg Doss / DJ Squid Show. In fact, if you have nothing else to do, which most of you lazy, blithering whinies don't have, go and get a copy or download the Greg Doss episode from, I believe it was 2 weeks ago, where I read the Florida Constitution. Especially if you happen to be in the state of Florida, as well as those of you who are in a state of confusion and dismay. But again, people, sometimes it's not about right or wrong. More importantly, it's about clarity. And you'll never reach resolution if you're not willing to engage in honest dialogue, even if that dialogue is with yourself. Now, take time to hug the person you love and love the person you hug. And on behalf of the manmindset.com, gregdoss.com, and I see that you're down, but when you're going to get up, by my man Sean McDowell, I'm Squid, aka Greg Doss, saying peace and chicken grease. Get your sorry lazy asses to work. Bye.